Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Helen, you're watching Stitch Rip Repeat, and today I am doing a Friday Sews catch-up vlog. So if that's something you're interested in, grab yourself a cuppa and please stay tuned. Right, so this will be a catch-up on the last couple of weeks, what I've been up to. I didn't put a Friday Sews up last week. Instead, last week I did my Sew Hayley Jane unboxing for February. So if you haven't seen that, I'll pop a card up and you can go and check that out. But I'm back with my catch-up vlog of all things sewing and sewing related for you. I'm going to hopefully put chapters in so that if you're interested only in the makes or you're interested only in the fabrics I bought, then you can obviously go directly to those. So hopefully I'll remember to do that. And I've got all the notes here of what I want to talk about, starting with the first thing that I've been doing over the last few weeks, which is going through my fabrics. It's a slow process, so bear with me. But yeah, I'm going through my fabrics and destashing. I have, as you know, if you follow me, I have a lot of fabric. And so I'm trying to be a little bit more ruthless because inevitably I will buy more. And as you'll see in this video, I already have for this year. And so I'm trying to destash some of the older ones that I maybe won't use, or some of the ones that maybe just aren't my taste anymore, to make way for the new. So I had a destash, and I'll pop my Instagram destash down below for you, and I might even put it on the screen, because I've destashed about 8 or 9 fabrics recently. So thank you ever so much for everyone who has bought from me. I think most of them have received them by now. I've had messages to say they have, so that's good. I will be putting up new fabrics now that I've destashed and posted the first lot. However, I have 3 remaining fabrics, and I'll just show them quickly on here in case anybody is interested. They're still available, and I have, I think, lowered the price on them a little bit. So the first is a gorgeous Lady McElroy, and I can never remember it. I will pop the title. I think it's something like Moroccan crepe. I think it's got quite a long name, but again, I will put all the proper details. I got 3.5 meters of this in a previous Sew Hayley Jane box, and it is in this gorgeous bright pink with these lovely colors here. And it is a lovely fabric. And originally I thought I'd make a summer dress, but in reality, I don't think I am going to make anything. I have lots of other projects already, and there's only so many summer dresses you can wear here in the UK, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I have 3.5 meters of this. I have, of course, got the matching thread that Hayley would have put in the box. And so these are on my Instagram. I will have to double check how much I put them on for, but it's UK only, I'm afraid. But the price I've got on my Instagram is the price including posting, so I will put the full price there. So that one is still available. This one I think is a cotton jersey, but again, I'm not 100% sure, and I will pop the details that I've put on the Instagram on the screen. But it's this really fun bird sort of tropical print on this grey background. It has, as I say, it's like a jersey stretch. Be great as a t-shirt dress. It's got pineapples and birds on, and again, I can't remember exactly how much I put that on for, but I'll pop it on the screen. And the last one is a little bundle of 2 fabrics. It's a bit fun, and I think it's 1 meter of the main and 0.5 meter of the other one, but I will double check. And that is this fun bee with the honeycomb on this sort of cream off-white background. Again, it's like a cotton jersey. So I think I've got 1 meter of the main, and then I have a 0.5 meter of this coordinating honeycomb to go with it there. And so that would make a nice little t-shirt for someone. So those are all still available. And as I say, I'm going to put more fabrics on in the coming days. So if you fancy having a quick look at my destash, the details will be down below. The other thing I did was some actual sewing. So the first one was not a new make. It was more of an upcycle of a previous make. Now, if you follow me for some time, or even recently, I think I might have bought this in a video when it was a bit chilly, you will know I have made this really gorgeous fab star and animal print Stella Hoodie from Tilling the Buttons stretch book, and I absolutely love it. It is one of my favourite hoodies to wear. It's got this sort of alpine fleece inside, so it's really cozy. But one thing that's always bothered me, and hopefully I'll pop a photo in to show you, is I did make it exactly as in the pattern, because it was the first time I'd made a Stella hoodie for myself, and something always bothered me and I wasn't quite sure. And I think that I found what it was is I didn't like a hoodie that just stops and is hemmed. Most of my ready to wear hoodies that I've bought have a ribbing band around the bottom. And so I'd thought about it for a while, and then I saw the lovely Liz, who's the baker that sews. I'm pretty sure she put ribbing around the bottom one. She might have done for her daughter. And so that solidified the idea. So I thought, right, now I have a lot of poppy cuffings on a roll. And so I had a look at this. Hopefully you'll be able to see. And I found this one, which I hope you can see there, picks out all the colours in my Stella hoodie. So I have made a new band for the bottom from this cuffing. So I literally chopped off where I'd turned it up and hemmed it. So it was about 2.5 inches, and I've popped on this ribbing which pulls it in and goes really nicely with the colours in my Stella hoodie there. I'm hoping you can see. And then after I'd done that, I thought I would go ahead and do the cuffs on the sleeves, because again the cuffs were from the same fabric. So yeah, it's not obviously anything major, but it actually makes all the difference, because I loved to wear this, but like I say, something bothered me, and now I really love it. I love it with the ribbing. I tend to pull the ribbing up around my waist and bunch the hoodie over and pop my hands in that kangaroo pocket, and I absolutely love how it's come out. So it's good, isn't it, how you can just switch up something with just a couple of changes. And as I say, I do love these poppy cuffings. I have quite a lot of them. I think most of my stripy ones are from Lizzie at Making 140 down here in Plymouth, but I did see on Andrea Beyond the Pink Doors live at the weekend that she has got some fabulous new cuffings in. She's got stars and animal prints and all sorts, and I may have purchased a few to come with my next Think Pink subscription box. So yeah, go and take a look there as well. But I was really happy with that. And then while I was in the mood, I decided I finally needed to sew up my High Hope Stolman tops from Ellie and Mac that I've been talking about since before Christmas. So for anyone who's not sure, hasn't followed me or didn't remember, my plan was I have a load of pre-printed PDFs rolled up down by my desk, just out of sight here. And I am going through them each month and just randomly grabbing one to make up from fabric in my stash. And the one that I pulled originally actually was a child's pattern that my children had outgrown, so I ditched that. And the next one I pulled out was the High Hopes by Ellie and Mac. So I showed you on previous videos the fabrics I wanted to make it from, and the first one I made it is from this gorgeous fabric here. And yeah, it's just so lovely. I've had loads of compliments on it. It's got these really fab big splatty sort of flower prints. The grey, I'm not sure if you'll see on camera, but it is so soft. It is really lovely to wear, and I love all the purples and the greys and the blacks. Now when I made this one, I looked at the measurements as they were on the pattern, and I went with my measurements. So hopefully I'll pop up the chart while I'm speaking that they give, because my measurements, which I'll pop in the description below so you can check them out after if you wanted to refer to them. My measurements currently are 39 for my chest and my hips, and 32.5 for my waist, and that's in inches. And that put me in the large. So I made the large. I do love it. Hopefully I'll put in photos. A couple of things. Firstly, I mean, I just love, hoping that's going to show, these massive bat wing sleeves. It takes me back to the 80s. But yeah, the first thing about this is it is really too big. I didn't need to do a large, so I will show you on this one that I went down one size to a medium. Also, I absolutely love the slightly longer cuffs on these, and on my arms they come quite well down, which I really like. That's the style I like, because I do tend to hold them, so really love that. But I made a couple of errors on this one. First one being, I cut out all the pattern pieces for the size large exactly as they were, and it's not like me, because it's got a bottom band that brings all that in, and it's supposed to sort of sit, hopefully you can see, I'll put photos of other people's High Hopes. It's supposed to sort of sit around your hip area, and sort of fit snugly and sort of bring in that bat wing shape of the top. I cut it out exactly as it was, not really taking into account the stretch of my fabric or anything. And I don't know why, but as I was fitting it onto the bottom of the top, I didn't have to stretch the band hardly at all. In fact, in some places I didn't stretch it at all. And this didn't set off any red flags, which it should have done, clearly. If you sew bands on frequently, they're supposed to stretch a bit to fit round and pull it in. So obviously when I put it on, I didn't get any photos, but it just sat. So I had this massive batwing top, which didn't come in at my hips at all because the band wasn't snug. It just hung and I just looked like a sack of potatoes. So I had to then take it all off, and then I cut a good, I reckon, 4.5 inches off each side. Maybe. I think I took like 9 inches out of it total. Sewed it back up, put it back on top, and now it's lovely. And then, bearing in mind what I'd done on the bottom, I only went and did pretty much exactly the same thing for the collar band. So I'll probably put in some photos, but this collar just sticks out. Sorry, not the collar, the neckband just sticks out. It's not flat, like hopefully you can see this one is, because again, I cut it out as per the pattern piece, happily sewing it in, no stretching to sew it in. Should have been something that I thought about, especially after the hemband. I think I must have been very tired when I made this. No stretching, put it in, lovely jubbly, top stitched it all down. And of course it doesn't fit flat against the skin. So because I'd already had to take the hemband off and do that again, I haven't changed it yet because like I say, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I did put top stitching all the way around it to hold it down. So not only will I have to take that out and then take it off, reduce it, I will do it at some point, but honestly, when I finished, I just was not in the mood to do that as well. But I do love the top, and obviously it then set me up for the second one I made, which hopefully you can see is the one I'm wearing here. And this one I made, as I say, a size smaller. So I made the medium, still got that, hopefully it will show, fabulous batwing sleeve, lovely and comfy. This one, I made a point of stretching the fabric around my hips before cutting it out to see what size I needed it. I've also done it, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, I'll have to pop in a photo, but the hemband is quite deep on the pattern and I only did it half, so it's not very deep, but that was because I didn't have enough fabric. But I love how it's turned out. And I did the same with the neckband. I measured my neckline once I'd made my top, and then I think I put about 75% of it, made the neckband, so I times it by only 75% of it, so I didn't do it at 100%. And so that time I did have to stretch this in, and I think it fits lovely. I even think, you'd have to let me know what you think, that I could maybe go down another size. I know it's meant to be oversized, but I could maybe get away with a small on my next one. But I love how they've turned out. They're so cozy, and they are just a lovely casual top you can just throw on, and yeah, I think they look great. So I'm really happy with them. Very quick sew. Once I'd worked out that I need to just keep an eye on the hembands and neckbands, so easy to sew up, because the front and back is like, as it says, it's a dolman. So you just sew them all the way down the arm, from the neck all the way down the arm, and then from the arm all the way down the side. And you're literally then just adding bands, one band around the bottom, cuff bands for your arms and your neckband, and that's it. So fabulous, easy project. So highly recommend. So I'm really chuffed that I've made that. And now that I've made that one, I have to dig into my pile and choose the next one, because obviously I'm trying to do them like once a month and I'm a little bit behind, but doesn't matter, I'll get through them. And I did that this morning, and I'll show you what the pattern is that I randomly picked. So here it is here, and I've seen that it's got the name. I don't know if you can see there. It's the Silene Tea. Now this was a free pattern from a company called Glasshouse Patterns. I think it was back in 2021. And it was, if you were a newsletter subscriber, then you could get this. It's just a very simple tee. Hopefully I'll pop in some photos. And I picked it up. I'm not sure whether Glasshouse Patterns are still going. But yeah, like I say, I got this a couple of years ago. And I do love t-shirts. I wear a lot of t-shirts and jeans around the house. So I'm really looking forward to that. Haven't decided on the fabric yet. So I'll have to have a little rummage through my stash, but that will be my next project, to make my little stash of PDF patterns go down and also dig into my fabrics. Okay, now I'm going to show you some of fabrics that I have received recently. So definitely need to get on with my destash is all I can say. The first one, if you remember on my Hayley Jane I got in January, it was a fabulous point out in a lovely animal print. However, it was mustard colour, which I know is a fabulous colour for some people. They absolutely love it, but it does not suit me. But recently I saw on Claire, who is the Sewing Bear on Instagram, and I'll pop her handle here and I'll link her below, was having a little destash, and lo and behold, she had the other colourway that was in the January box, which I had really liked. So I bought that from her destash. So I'm just going to show you. So the lovely Claire, and I have thanked her on Instagram, but if you're watching, Claire, thank you again. So lovely. She put some really gorgeous little gifts in with the fabric. The fabric I'll show you first. If you saw, as I say, the Hayley Jane, you'll know. And if you've seen anyone else's, a lot of people made some gorgeous pyjamas. So it is this lovely pointel in this sort of creamy off-white animal print. And the pointel is these little diamond holes all throughout. So I have 2.5 meters of that. And Claire and I, Claire sent me the matching thread. So thank you so much. But as I say, not only did she send me that, but she sent me some lovely little gifts, including this handmade, so cute. It's a little worry worm. And she, I think, has crocheted or knitted that in these gorgeous rainbow colours. It is so, so cute. And then look, it's got the little googly eyes. I'd never heard of worry worm. So I looked it up, and it basically says they're just sort of to put a smile on someone's face when they find them or receive them. And it's to be like a kindness to the community and sort of spread the love and take all your cares and worries away. Look, so, so cute. And as I say, Claire made that herself. So, oh, that's so lovely of you, Claire. I really appreciate it. Didn't stop at that. She's popped in a fabulous little label, which says on one side, not average, and on the other side, it says savage. And I love a good label. She's then popped in some gorgeous tees. Yorkshire is a firm favourite with me. And then a couple of pucker tees. One is, I can never say this, elderberry and, not even going to try and say it. I'll pop it on the screen. Fruity one there. And then a lemon, ginger and manuka honey tea bag as well. And lastly, she also put in a tea tree and peppermint moisturising hand pack, which I absolutely love because my hands get very dry. And now that I'm getting of a certain age, they get very wrinkly as well. So I'm really looking forward to treating myself with that. And so thank you very much again. And I always feel bad now because I destashed my fabrics with no little gifts. So I might have to do that going forward. This next fabric that I bought from Shirl at So Affordable. And like I said, everything I talk about, I always pop in the links below so you'll be able to find her. And she has some really lovely fabrics. I buy a lot from Shirl. This one is a needle cord, but it's got some embroidered dandelions, she called them, in like a gold and a rusty coloured all over. I'm not sure how well it will show because it's black, but it's a black needle cord with these gorgeous embroidered dandelions all over it and fluff, as always happens with needle cord. I got 3 meters of this and I think it was £4 a metre. So I am planning a pair of Heyday dungarees by Waves and Wild in this, which I think will look fabulous. I've seen the lovely Andie and Rachel, who hopefully you know are So Andie Sews and Stitched Up, have made some black, I think needle cord, Heyday dungarees, and they look wonderful. I still haven't made any, so I'm hoping to make them with this. And while I was on the Heyday bandwagon, I picked up this needle cord, and I'm not sure how well it will show. It's a very bright sort of turquoise blue there, in my local shop, Haberdashery Fabrics and More, here in Plymouth. So I've picked up just over 2 meters, about 2.25 in that. So I'm hoping to make a couple of pairs of Heyday, so stay tuned for that. I also got in my other, well, my favourite shop for fabrics here in Plymouth, which is Make at 140, this gorgeous rooted fabric. Now I have, and can't see it. I'm going to have to put a photo. I have a rooted fabric that I bought a while ago when they had this gorgeous green one reduced, because their first run, the print had a little error running all the way through it. So they reduced how much they sold it by. So I got a load of that. Absolutely loved it. This is their new range. I think it's called Harvest Moon. And I saw this one on Rooted's website, and then I saw that Lizzie had it and I couldn't resist. It is black, but look at the bears and the flowers and the moon on that. They're so cute. I got 1.5 meters of this. I want to show you. I think there's a sleeping bear that I think's gorgeous on that side there. And like I say, I got 1.5 meters, so that I'm thinking I can make a nice blouse out of this. Can't remember what the fabric type is. I think it might be viscose twill. I'll pop it on the screen. And then I got another black. So I've got 3 blacks here. Honestly, I hardly ever buy black fabric, and now I've got 3. This one I didn't buy. This was gifted to me by Minerva, because they have kindly sponsored Jane, who is the Dressmakers Closet, for her test patterns, and also she's doing challenges throughout the year. And the first challenge she's doing, you may have already seen the details. It starts on the 20th, which I think is Monday, and runs for the week. It's the Ava Blouse Challenge. I was a tester for the original Ava blouse. Hopefully I'll pop in a photo. And I love it. And as part of her ambassador team, I'm joining in with the challenge to give hopefully some inspiration and ideas. And Minerva, as I say, kindly sponsored us as testers to have some fabric and to share everything we make. They have also given a discount code for the Ava Blouse Challenge for anyone that takes part. I'm going to have to check my notes because I wrote it down. They're giving you 20% off their range of exclusive viscose challis, only their exclusive viscose challis, but 20% off if you pop in the discount code closet. So, and then you can use it for the Ava Blouse Challenge. And Jane has reduced her pattern for the challenge by 20% as well. I'm just checking, you just pop in Ava Blouse 20, and I will put an affiliate link to her website down below. It won't cost you any money. Obviously you'll get 20% off. It just gives me a little commission if you use that link. So you can join in, but I got given this gorgeous fabric and I absolutely love it. And it has these black background with these gorgeous cats all over it. And as I say, it's from their exclusive viscose challis range, which is the same range I used to make the Fleur pinafore dress and was absolutely lovely to sew with. So I highly recommend. And I'm really looking forward to, I'm making a very apt pussy bow blouse version with my little cats. So really happy to receive that. And then the last fabric that I received this week, I think it only came yesterday. It was from a company called Splasher Fabrics. Oh God, I'll have to look it up. I think it's Splasher Fabrics, who are unfortunately closing, but it meant they were having a sale, I think 30% off. And I popped on and I just absolutely loved this bamboo lycra. And it is this gorgeous sort of blush pink with cream and blacks and greys in this sort of tie-dye effect. And I think that will make a really lovely top. Possibly a dress, depending on how much. I can't remember how much I got out of it. So I picked that up, as I say, in their closing down sale. And as I was on there, I had a little look at the other sections, and I picked up this really cute pair of jogger pattern from Minicrea, I think it's called. And I believe they're a German company, but it's got German and English in it. And it's got a few different styles there, and it says it's easy. And I just love how those joggers look. They just look so comfy. So that was, I think it says, look, originally 10, but I think they'd reduced it $7.50, and then it was the discount as well. So I picked that up. And lastly, they had some really lovely cord for like hoodies and like when you put in hembands and for joggers around the waist. So I picked up some, I think I picked up 2 or 3 meters of this mustardy color, and also of this kind of turquoise teal blue colour. So yes, I really need to get on with the Destash, don't I? Plans going forward. Let me check my notes. Obviously, I'm going to be doing the Ava blouse very soon in that cat fabric because that's coming up and I'm an ambassador for that. The other thing I'm going to be working on probably in a social sewing day that I'm going to with my lovely friend Angela. You all know Devon Thread Tales. We were chatting about it, texting, but we've agreed because we met up in person, little photo of us having a cup of tea at my local garden centre yesterday. We met up in person because we've got a few things going on in the next few weeks together. And we're both going to this social sewing day. And we've decided, because we were hoping to make a Marnie, that we're going to take our Marnies to the social sewing day and we're going to sew them up together. Now, I was going to show you the fabric I've chosen, but I don't think I've got enough of it. I might show you anyway, and then when I make it, you'll be like, well, that wasn't the fabric you showed. But show you what I was thinking, and hopefully I'll have enough to make the Marnie. So I've got the actual paper copy of the Marnie, so I'm going to be tracing that out. And the fabrics I've chose, I went for double gauze, which was on the recommendation of the lovely Ruan, who's the Yorkshire Sew Girl. She's made it. If you haven't seen it, she made a lovely one from So Hayley Jane fabric we had a while back. And so she suggested going for something fairly stable, and double gauze obviously worked really well for hers. So I've chosen out of my double gauze this really lovely white with the green leaves all over it there. But like I say, I'm not 100% sure how much I've got. If I make the Marnie, I don't think I'll be putting in the pin tucks. And I'm not certain whether I'll be putting in the ruffle bit around the neck or whether I'm going to put the frills here either. So whether I put them in or not may depend on how much fabric I've got, if nothing else. But I was thinking of making it in this. So if you let me know what you think, I think that'll be a really pretty Marnie. But because I couldn't decide between the two, if I get a chance, I'm also planning to make it in this double gauze, which I kind of think is Harry Potter inspired. I'm not 100% sure where I got it from, but I'm fairly certain with those glasses and the feathers and everything that I think it's Harry Potter inspired, and me and my children love watching them over and over. So again, depending on how much I've got, also how I get on with the pattern itself and time-wise, I might make it out of that as well. So those are ones I'm planning to do quite soon, as well as obviously the Ava. I am also planning to make a Jackson t-shirt by Helens Closet. And I have two fabrics for those, which I may or may not have shown you before. I got them from First for Fabrics, and I'll link them down below. They have them in lots and lots of colours. And I think it's a Stoff jersey, cotton jersey, and I've got it in this light grey, and I've got 1 metre of it there to make a Jackson t-shirt. And I've also got it in the darker grey. And the plan for these two is I am making a Jackson top out of these. Then I'm going to make the Jaime pyjama bottoms from Tilly and the Buttons out of the brushed cotton that I showed you previously. Hopefully I'll pop in a photo because I can't find it at the moment. And they're going to become a set of pyjamas for a special occasion I've got coming up very soon. And I will share more with you when it's nearer to the time. So these are my plans going forward. I have also literally just this morning purchased the brand new re-released Avenir jumpsuit from the Friday Pattern Company, which I'll pop here. I didn't even know that they'd stopped selling it. I'd seen the lovely Liz from the Baker That Sews had made it, and I thought it looked fabulous. But apparently they've made some changes to the instructions. They've extended the sizing and they have re-released it. So that was, I think, about £10. It was $12, something like that. So I've just bought that because I really think that looks a really comfy jumpsuit. And if it does suit me, I think I might whip up quite a few of those. So gosh, that was quite a catch up, wasn't it? This is why I should do my Friday sews every week. As I say, everything I've mentioned, I will link down below so that you can go and check them out. And I do hope you've been doing some sewing or something sewing related. And I will see you all in my next video.